2 starts now.
So week 2 is in the books, and another good week of football. Welcome to another edition of week 2 of the PICK6IX podcast, folks. Stay tuned, whether it's your morning drive to work, your morning drive wherever, your drive home, wherever you are in the world right now. This is the place to be. This is the podcast to listen to. Whatever you're doing, just stay tuned. You're gonna get another good show here today. But before I get to the 6 games that I've picked, I want to talk about something that I saw yesterday. I saw something that was interesting, and one of the things that I've seen a lot of lately with sports media is a lot of blathering, a lot of blather. You know, the critiquing of players is one thing, but the criticizing is another. So let me get to this quick. Let me get to the show. So yesterday, I saw a clip via Twitter on the Herd with Colin Cowherd, and he was grading the quarterbacks from the 2024 draft. And I'm not going to say the grades. If you get a chance, you can go check it out. It's on social media, on YouTube, whatever you use. And 99% of you guys are on your phone a lot. But I saw the grades and I had to really ponder something here. What is going on with sports media? There's a lot of holes in sports media, but this particular thing to me and the way he described it, it was are you serious? Let me just start with Caleb Williams. Caleb Williams is going through his 3rd coach. He was a guy everybody put their chips into. Chicago has not given him the right coaching so far. I know Ben Johnson is supposed to be the guy, but sometimes the great guy, the best available coach, is not the best available coach for a quarterback like that. How good is the quarterback coach? You got to look at that too. How good is the offensive coordinator? You got to look at all these factors when you are trying to grade a quarterback or whatever you're trying to do. Caleb Williams is going through his 3rd coach, his 3rd offensive playbook, and a bunch of other things. Mental health, maybe, all that other stuff. I'm not a fan of him, but I'm a fan of him succeeding. And all these guys, come on, relax. Jaden Daniels, he has an ankle sprain, apparently. He had a fantastic, phenomenal first year. You're going to have ups and downs. He knows that's coming. He's just here to play football. Critiquing him too. Let him learn. Drake May, we know the situation with him. He's got another coach now. He's got a defensive-minded coach. He's going to take some time too. You know, he's got Mike Vrabel. Mike Vrabel's going to be good for him. Mike Vrabel was good in Tennessee, and he's going to be fine with New England. He has that mindset. He's ready to go. Michael Penix, who I wanted in Minnesota, he's got Raheem Morris. He's going to be fine. He's going to have his ups and downs. He didn't score a touchdown in week 2. He didn't score. He only had 105 yards. But I'll talk about that later on. J.J. McCarthy, I'm not a fan of him. I didn't like the pick. I'm a Vikings fan. He missed an entire first year. And then on top of that, he's hurt now, and he's going to be out for 2 to 4 weeks. You can't grade a guy. Yeah, he had 7 bad quarters. A lot of quarterbacks have 2 great quarters, and then they suck the rest of the way. Tim Tebow had some great games for Denver, and he only played 1 season there. I'm just saying, come on, we got to calm down. Bo Nix, same thing. Up and down, rough first year. He still got into the playoffs. Had a little rough edge yesterday in that game. I just think that people need to calm down on that. Stop grading guys. What is this? You know what I mean? It's the first 3 years are rough. You might see the bright lights, the good things that come out of this, but there's a lot of rough edges, and we got to calm down to this. Sports media has gotten out of control. I'm sorry. That's why I try not to pay attention to that. I might see a clip here, but I'm not going to sit down and watch a whole show because it's long, it's full of blather, and it's just boom, boom, boom about this and that when it's all garbage. So, yes, you critique the guys, Let me say it again. Critiquing and criticizing are two different things. Also, another clip that you need to check out is when he was talking with Tom Brady, Colin Cowherd again. And Tom just talks about the issues with coaching and quarterbacking. You got to spend time with these quarterbacks, but also the quarterback's gonna want it too. And in the next 2-3 years, we're gonna see who wants it and who doesn't. Sometimes injuries play a factor. Sometimes the coach plays a factor. Sometimes it's a bad situation. So many things come into play. Tom Brady was in a lucky situation. Michael Vick in the first couple of years of his career was in a great situation. Donovan McNabb was in a good situation with Andy Reid. You know, Drew Brees was in a magical situation with Sean Payton. And I can go on and on and on. So sometimes it's just a situation. But now we're going to start the show. So I'm going to start with Cincinnati and Jacksonville, as most of you know now. Wow. Joe Burrow is going to be out for a while with turf toe. I don't know how that's going to, affect the Cincinnati Bengals team, but we'll see how that is as time goes by. But, Jake Browning came in to relieve him, and he only had 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, which doesn't surprise me for a backup. 241 yards passing, which, of course, he had a 21 for 32 rate there. But, and, of course, Trevor Lawrence, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 271, 24-42, threw a little too much. I felt Travis Etienne should have got the ball a little more. He had 14 carries for 71 yards. I mean, it was Travis Etienne also received a touchdown, which was a nice throw. But, I'm going to be honest with you guys. It's a tale of two stories. The Jaguars are still trying to figure things out. I know some of you saw that Trevor Lawrence video with the coach. That's a whole different conversation for another day. Cincinnati now going without Joe Burrow for the foreseeable future. Of course, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, as I said, we're going to get theirs. I mean, Jamar Chase went for 165 and a touchdown, and T. Higgins went for 56 for one. But the difference was 14 receptions versus Higgins' 3. I mean, Jamar at 14 and Higgins. I mean, whether one gets more or not, or they spread out, these guys are both on the same page when it comes to doing what they know what to do. They're professionals. So Jake Browning has 2 all-world weapons. So let's see what happens next week, because they do play, if I'm correct, they play Minnesota next week. And that's the next game I'm going to go to, because the Vikings, man, that was ugly. Again, 31-27, the Jags losing to the Bengals. Wow, this game was ugly. And this is why I'm not grading quarterbacks at all, because J.J. McCarthy, of course, threw his 2 interceptions, 11 for 21, 156. Penix, as I mentioned earlier, 13 for 21, 135. I said 105. I apologize. I think I said 105. But he actually threw 135 and got sacked 3 times, which, that Brian Flores defense is absolutely just all level, first page. My takeaway from the game, Bijan Robinson, man. You have to watch this guy live to see how good this guy is. His footwork is absolutely outstanding. If you've ever worked or done anything with speed ladders, speed cones, polymetrics, anything, I'm telling you, you know when somebody has phenomenal footwork. And this guy, wow, holy. I mean, Atlanta's got themselves a stud. I don't know what's going to happen for the foreseeable future, but they got somebody. I just hope they don't run into the ground. The Atlanta defense was phenomenal too. Albrecht and Raheem Morris got these guys going in the right direction, in the right place. And if they can continue to do what they're doing, they're going to be fine. They're going to be fine. They had a tough loss last week against Tampa. Of course, division games are always tough, but Atlanta's going to be fine for the foreseeable future. As for Minnesota, Carson Wentz is now inserted. JJ is gone again 2 to 4 weeks. Like I said earlier, can't grade these quarterbacks. Even when they're as bad as they are, can't grade them. He's played 2 total games. He's had 8 quarters in his book in 2 years. Kevin O'Connell's going to have to make some decisions if this continues when he returns. Does he start? If Carson Wentz gets going, there's no way you bring back JJ McCarthy. You have a roster that is set to win a Super Bowl right now. On paper, minus the quarterback, they have a very good team, very good coaching staff. To me, I feel like you should have went out and got a quarterback that could help you win now. JJ McCarthy is somebody you have when you're still rebuilding, not when you have a team like this. But that's another different topic for a different day. Denver and Indiana, 22-6, Falcons beat Minnesota. This game, the way it ended with that field goal situation was preposterous. I know the call is the right call, but the way they did it, and the way Indy ran those last few plays to potentially get in position to win, I felt was like, what the hell are you doing? Daniel Jones, 23 for 34, 316, 1 touchdown. Jonathan Taylor, another stud running back, 25 carries, 165. This guy, when you hit that turbo button on the controller, he's gone. He's gone. His acceleration is what I can't believe. It's crazy. Does he have the speed? No, because he's been caught. He got caught yesterday on the run. And anybody knows when you're a stud running back, that speed is just another level. He doesn't have Chris Johnson's speed, but his acceleration, his agility, whoo, he could play. J.K. Dobbins, he's just a power guy. J.K. Dobbins for Denver, he just goes through the seams. He's just an absolute brute. Bo Nix had a good game, 22 for 30, 206, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. He did what he was supposed to do. I know everybody's talking about the miss kick by Will Lutz. I saw it. I was like, ugh. He only had 1 kick to make, and he missed it. And, of course, Spencer Schrader missed that first one that was 60 yards with a controversial call, and then he made it afterwards. So, Indy wins 29-28. They're now 2-0. The Broncos, well, they're in a good place. They have a good coach. They got a good coaching staff. They're in a good place in the right direction. So I'm not even going to say too much more about that. Cleveland and Baltimore, a tale of 2 stories. Baltimore, after that tough loss to Buffalo, doing what they do best. Lamar is always ready. He's a professional. The Cleveland defense, you look at the score and it doesn't tell you the true story. The true story is the Cleveland defense is solid. They couldn't hold these guys off. They couldn't score in Baltimore if you begged them to. If you gave them a Bible and booster drinks, they could not score. Lamar was 19 for 29, 225, 4 touchdowns. He just played what he usually has to do. He did what he had to do. And so did the rest of the guys. Hopkins, Walker, Wallace, Zay Flowers. They did their thing. Derrick Henry could not go anywhere. I'm telling you guys, if you watch any clips of that game or watch the game in any way, form, or fashion, that defense made sure that Derrick Henry couldn't go nowhere. And I'm talking Devin Bush, Greg Newsome, Mason Graham, Delpit, Garrett. They were on him in that game. I'm not talking from stats. I'm talking from what I saw with my own eyes. The eyes don't lie. Cleveland's front 7. Wow. Secondary's not bad either. But when your quarterback is Joe Flacco and you can't score, what else? Dylan Gabriel, Shedeur Sanders are your next options. If Kevin Stefanski wants to be in the NFL, he's going to have to make a decision. You have a good football team. You have some good offensive weapons. It's the same thing in Minnesota. You need a quarterback to take you to the next level. This is not the time to be making these type of crazy decisions. Cleveland had a competent quarterback yesterday. They win that game. 41-17 Browns lose to the Ravens. Next game on the list, Detroit and Chicago. Jared Goff bounces back after that loss to, well, Detroit as a team bounced back after that loss to Green Bay. He went for 23 for 28. Excuse me, sorry. 334, 5 touchdowns, no picks. Was not sacked. Excuse me. Caleb, of course, 60 for 32, 07, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. And Roma Dunze, 7 for 121, 2 touchdowns. Wow. This guy's going to be good. He is going to be good, Roma Dunze. I mean, you got to keep your eyes out for this kid. He's going to be good. So, yeah, I mean, it's a situation where Caleb Williams is going through his third coach. It's not an easy road. Him and Ben Johnson are going to have to be patient with each other. They really are. Otherwise, it's not going to work. So, but they can get it going. Like I said, I'm not a fan of his, but I see the talent. I saw that arm, and I'm like, whoa. Amon, of course, 9 receptions, 115, 3 touchdowns. Jameson, of course, 2 receptions, 108, 1 touchdown. That 64-yarder that Goff threw. Wow. So, you know, that's it. That's that's the story of it. Detroit doing what they usually do, what they've been doing the last 3-4 years. So Detroit knows that this is a bounce back year for them, and they can get it going and they can get it done. So the last game on the menu that I'm going to, I was going to talk about Miami and New England, but I'm not going to waste my time with Miami. I think Miami, McDaniel and the weapons that they have after that 2020 situation with Fitzpatrick and Brian Flores, I'm not going to waste my time. They gotta do something about that quarterback situation. I like Tua as a person. He's a good kid. He's a good young man. Sorry, but as a quarterback, he's just, the pressure is on, and I don't think he's going to be able to get through it unless he sees that he's got to do something different. So I'm going to go to the final game, which is going to be KC and Philly. My thing is about that game, it was a very slow but methodical game by the Eagles. They won 20-17. Jalen Hurts, 15 for 22, 101. No touchdowns, no picks. Patrick Mahomes, 16 for 29, 187. 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Patrick Mahomes ran 66 yards and had 1 rushing touchdown. And, of course, Daquan Thornton with that throw, 49-yard pass. Wow. At Patrick Mahomes. KC is going through the growing pains. They're learning now that the rest of the league has caught up with them. KC the last 2-3 years has been sneaking out wins. They've been the greatest sneak out win team in NFL history. Now they're just losing those games, and they're going to have to learn how to get back on the winning trail, and they can. They got one of the greatest coaches of the modern era in the NFL, you know. But on the other side, for the Eagles, they're just winning games the way they win games. They're doing things on defense. They're doing things on offense. A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. A.J. Brown, 5 receptions, 27 yards. Devontae Smith, 4 for 53. These are receivers who need the ball. And I want to keep my eyes on A.J. Brown because if you remember last year, there was a little bit of issues with A.J. Brown and the team coaching staff, although they were winning because he wasn't getting the ball. A.J. Brown needs the ball. So let's see how this situation plays out as this season goes on. I mean, winning covers a lot of things, but eventually a receiver wants the ball. So A.J. Brown having a year right now that would be equivalent to a 3rd-string receiver. It's just facts. So let's keep that in mind. Quick notes before I close the show. Seattle and Pittsburgh, wow. Sam Darnold starts off with 2 picks. They end up winning the game. I mean, Sam Darnold's got an arm. Why did Minnesota let him go? I think it's just about money. Sam needed his money, wanted his money, and I got no issues with that at all. 31-17, they beat Pittsburgh. Aaron Rodgers was pedestrian, as usual, back to his old self. But another one, Dallas and New York, a classic division game. You guys could make any comments. The reason why I didn't talk about that game, because it's a division game. Division games are always going to have that mystique. Like I said, whether the team is good or bad, they're going to have that mystique. I mean, Russell playing a great game until he threw that one pick, and then, Dak running to put the team in field goal position, Dallas kicking the field goal, and the rest is history. So, yeah, it's just one of those seasons, and, this is what it's going to be like. By the way, 40-37, Dallas beating the Giants. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, that's Quick Take. Like I said, if this is something you're listening to on the morning drive to work or drive home or on the subway or riding your bike, whatever, thanks for listening. I'm out. Peace.